Jock Journal Radio. Jock Journal Radio brings you NFL Talk Late Night. Just two hardcore fans talking football after their kids have gone to bed, and they invite you to join our conversation. If there's a hot topic or even a cold topic, these chumps will be drawing it up every night. So leave those nudie sites alone and call us. And if you're lucky, they might give you my number. NFL Talk Late Night from Jock Journal Radio.
Oh, Jock Stars, I am bald, but it's not making me very happy, especially in this cold weather, but we're going to get through it. But before we begin, I'm Nash.
And I'm Matt.
And you're listening to NFL Talk. Well, Jock Stars, this is the first time we've talked to you since Christmas, and a lot has happened. Literally, the Chiefs have won, the Seahawks have lost, and Nash had his hair completely chopped off. And if you haven't got a chance to see it, you can just find that on the Jock Journal Twitter account or the Jock Journal Facebook account. Just go ahead. You'll see me going bald in a matter of literally 60 seconds or less. Does that make you happy, Matt?
Of course it does. I mean, when I saw the video, it was just, you know what makes me happy is you are such a homer. And you're just doubting the Chiefs consistently, just never. And not just you, but people are coming around now to what a special thing it is that they did. But it just, your doubt made it even better, and your constant negativity toward the Kansas City Chiefs. And now they have bested you once again. They bested you when we played Seattle, and now they have bested you and your hair once again. And it makes me very happy. Yeah, I was pleased to see that, and I hope everyone else was too.
And here you have Cincinnati up 14-3 against the Denver Broncos right now.
And
literally, you must be thinking that you might have died on the road on the way home from your vacation, and you just ended up in heaven somewhere, huh?
I mean, really, look, it makes me happy anytime I get to see the Broncos lose because they're so lame. I just hate the Broncos, and they deserve to lose. The way that they play, their sportsmanship, it's not like this is a classy organization that everyone's rooting for. The Broncos are a classless, tasteless organization that threw money to get a better team, and Elway the same is just a jerk. So good for them. It's good to see them lose. What I'm more shocked about is Cincinnati. Look, I don't want to play Cincinnati with A.J. McCarron at the helm. I don't know about you, but he looked clean and crisp in those first couple drives. I mean, nice passes. He looked better than Andy Dalton. I would be more afraid of this team with A.J. McCarron playing the way that they're playing tonight. And this is the thing, though, with the NFL, and we'll get into this, but you never know what team in any NFL game is going to show up. That's just the fact. This team can come out and play an amazing game and then drop the ball next week. I mean, we saw it happen, and you see it week after week, that there's only a couple things. Defenses can be pretty consistent in the NFL. Offensive lines can be fairly consistent. Offenses are up and down always. It doesn't matter. The best offense on earth can still have an off game, and that's just what happens. So, yes, they look great tonight, and it would be tough to see them, but, you know, who knows what team's going to show up every weekend.
It's absolutely true, and it's a any given Sunday sort of situation, and it's an amazing thing that the Carolina Panthers have lasted as long as they actually have. So for those people who are out there naysaying on the Carolina Panthers at this point, you're an idiot because they did an amazing thing going 14 games. Right now, the Chiefs had the longest streak in the NFL. And, I mean, it's hard to put together that long of a string of wins against teams at this point. Guys, before we fully get into the show, I think I need to go ahead and tell everybody how to reach us. First, if you want to call, you dial 405-562-5463. That will get into us, and you know we'll just go ahead and take calls all episode long. In fact, we already have one now, and if it's Edmund, we'll have to put him on hold for just a second. Caller, you're live. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, Carol, just calling. Talk about that Panthers game.
Yes. Give me about 5 more minutes, and we'll get to you. If you could put your mic on hold, we'll bring you on in just a second. Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you, sir. And then another way to get a hold of us is to just text us 77948 and type the word text space and then your message. And if you're in front of a computer or you have a computer around right now and you're not on a mobile device, the best way to just go ahead and listen to our show is to go to jockjournal.com/JJR. And right there, you'll even have a form where you can contact the show to submit your Shock the Jock questions or the name that year for tonight, which we will be playing at the end of the show. So stay tuned, because that's a chance to win some extra money for you, right? It's a good opportunity.
I will take any extra money that I can get.
Exactly. I think we all will. And then lastly, if you have a mobile device right there in front of you, from what I've been told, tonight around midnight, you're going to be able to find it on the Android market. Jock Journal has its own special little app where you can listen to us live directly from the app, text the show, call the show, all from that one app. All you got to do is download it. It's a free to listen, free to play, free to enjoy the website, all right there in one easy, condensed little app. It's going to take a little time for it to get onto the Apple market, but it's going to be there. Just hang tight, hang loose, and you'll enjoy. All right, so Matt, man, it is a completely different world when you're bald. I woke up, and like many other times in the morning when I'm getting out of the shower, I bump my head. But today when I bumped my head, it freaking hurt because I have no hair to cushion it, and it was a very unusual and painful experience. So,
come on, bro. Come on. Let's be honest here. This is good practice for you. What do you got, 4 years left until this is a natural occurrence?
It probably is. Honestly, I feel like I'm in basic training all over again. But that's going to bring us to tonight's Shock the Jock question.
So now that one of these asshats has nerve damage from the Shock the Jock, we play a little differently. They have a question, so surprise them with your answer. You could win money if it's shocking enough.
Okay, guys, so we're going to be doing it a little bit differently tonight than we have in other nights past. What we're going to simply do is ask you to email your worst haircut of your entire life, or hairstyle for all you women out there who are listening, the worst and horribly embarrassing haircut of your existence. If you're a woman, it might be those horrible 5-foot-tall bangs that they used to do in the late 90s or early 90s. If you're a guy, it might be a mullet, but you're just going to go ahead and bring us a photo. And you're going to bring it to radio@jockjournal.com, and we are going to look at them, and at the end of the night, we're going to go ahead and post the worst haircut photo on Twitter.
That's great. I'm so glad that there was not a picture of my worst haircut. I once decided to dye and I'm blonde hair, blue-eyed, I'm pretty fair-skinned, but I once decided it'd be cool to go all black hair, and I did that, and it looked so terrible.
It did.
I mean, I can't even explain how it tried. That was just the worst. And even then, when you shave your head, it's still like that for a while. There's just no escaping it. So I'm glad a photo never existed or still exists of that.
Actually, I know where I could get one. I remember actually having that photo taken, and it's actually in the possession of Rachel Lamb, formerly of Rachel Scott. She actually has that photo.
This is the good thing about us growing up at the time we did. Cell phones, digital photos weren't really like, if a photo exists of something really embarrassing prior to like our 25 years old, it's pretty, someone's got to have a physical copy. That's it. They're just not around it. You know what I mean? Now, I feel bad for these kids. Look, anything you do, someone snaps a photo, it's going to live forever. It can always be found somewhere. At least with us, it was like that photo's gone. If it got burned, the physical copy was done. Thank God.
This is going to be your opportunity to live in Jock Journal fame, as your photo will be immortalized, especially if it's the most shocking thing of this month and you receive a $50 gift card for Shocking the Jock on our website as the first inaugural Jock Journal Wall of Fame. This could be kind of fun. It really could. Yeah.
Hey, quick update. The Broncos just scored. Brock Osweiler touchdown to Emmanuel Sanders for 8 yards. So it's 14-10 now.
14-10. Very good. Now we get to the news.
Attention everyone. Attention everyone. It's fun game time. It's fun game time. Okay, everyone. It's time to play a game.
It's time to play Shock the Jock, where you ask the questions and one answer is...
Finally, can we take a moment and stop listening to the...
We missed the wrong audio file that time, so we'll just go ahead and say in the news. Ed Carroll from jockjournal.com, the Carolina Panthers correspondent, as well as the NFC South head coach that's sitting there amongst them all. Ed, how you doing tonight? Good. Hold on just a second. Say that again, Ed. I didn't have your mic on.
Yeah, doing pretty good, Nash.
Good. So, Matt, Ed is the correspondent for the Carolina Panthers, and he is going to be here talking to us about the Panthers situation and the fact that they finally lost a game and what type of implications that has on the team. Go ahead, Ed.
Yeah, well, first thing, I'd like to publicly address the Minnesota Vikings, Seattle Seahawks, and Arizona Cardinals fans and say you're welcome on behalf of the Atlanta Falcons for the blueprint that you might want to utilize when it comes to playing against the Panthers in the playoffs. Just based off how the Falcons played this past Sunday, obviously it's the first game plan that's worked. You play them in the playoff, it's something you might want to think about using because it has a success rate now.
It really does. And from what I saw, and I went ahead and I'm a nerd, so I dissected the X's and O's of that particular game. What I saw was them playing a 3-deep zone, and with the man read up underneath, and that was a brilliant strategy. Except for a couple of times where it seemed like Carolina got away with playing some soft zones in the deep secondary. See, there's Matt saying, "What the hell? What? Nobody cares about this." But that's kind of what I saw. Did you kind of see the same thing with the X's and O's?
I did. As a Panthers fan, this defense that they built over the past couple of years is designed to be able to dig in and go after and put down tacklers and ball carriers. Against the Falcons on Sunday, the way the Falcons game plan for them, hey, we're going to run it on you, and then we're going to pass it on you. Giving the Panthers no real chance to build any kind of consistency on the defensive side of the ball to have a chance to counteract what the Falcons were doing. So that's a good part of the Falcons for keeping the Panthers off balance because it worked great. That mixture of the run and the pass worked great to keep the Panthers from able to utilize their defense to give them field position and help them out with a clock management with the ways that the Panthers have been able to run their offense throughout the season. I would say the Falcons, their blueprint on Sunday was almost flawless. Other teams have tried it this season, but until Sunday, it hadn't succeeded until Sunday.
Ed, look, you're being gracious, and I know I like your articles. I read them on jockjournal.com. You definitely know what you're talking about. But I can't believe I'm hearing you come on here and say that the blueprint for their success, it was a Hail Mary. That's not a blueprint for success. That's a miracle play. It would have been a closer game. It's not like they went in there and absolutely mopped the floor with them. They didn't have their way with them. They had a couple good plays, and this is the thing. The Atlanta Falcons especially, are so hot and cold. That was a miracle that they won that game. There was no blueprint for playing them. You really think that in a rematch game that the Atlanta Falcons would come out and have the same success that they did against the Carolina Panthers?
Matt, I love that response. But one thing I know I didn't list in my article reflecting back on the game yesterday was the Panthers, their attitude yesterday. And what Ron Rivera had coined as a must-win game for the Panthers when it came to securing home field advantage in the playoffs and that first round bye. They didn't play like that's what was at stake in the game yesterday. And that you can't define based on a Hail Mary or not.